Hi all, today we are going to learn MCQs on Because I Couldn't Stop for Death by Emily Dickinson. Dickinson's posthumous nickname, The Ballet of Amherst. What's the original title of the poem? Or the poem was edited by her two friends, Mabel Loomis Todd and Thomas Wentworth Higginson. They titled the poem Dash. The answer is The Chariot. It was published under this title, The Chariot. Okay. Because I Couldn't Stop for Death was published in dash 1890 posthumously. Okay. Next question. If the word great means anything in poetry, this poem is one of the greatest in English language. Who said this? And it was a HSA 2015 question. Okay. The answer is Alan Date. Next question. How many stanzas make up the poem? 6, 12, 10, 8. The correct answer is 6, and this poem contains 6 stanzas and total of 24 line poem, and this was also 2022 question HSA. Which of the following correctly describes the stanzaic structure of Emily Dickinson's poem Because I Couldn't Stop for Death? The answer is 6 quatrain, 4 line stanza. Okay, this poem contains 6 stanzas and in each stanza there is 4 line and total 24 line poem. How many syllables are in the first line? Because I couldn't stop for death. The correct answer is 8. What type of poem is Because I Couldn't Stop for Death? Narrative poem, epic poem, lyric poem or dramatic monologue? The correct answer is lyric poem. What is the central theme of the poem? The answer is the inevitability of death and the afterlife. And I had put away or labor and my leisure too. What is meant by these lines? Her death. The narrator will never again work or participate in any other activities. He knew no haste. Who? Death. What did speaker do before she died? Put away everything she had. Dash is personified throughout the poem. Death. Who is the he of the line, he kindly stopped for me? Answer is death. What is the setting sun indicates? It also indicates death. The carriage stopped before a dash, a house that is grave. We paused before a house. What does the house indicate? Her grave. What does gazing grain indicate? Life, young age. In the fourth stanza, the score symbolizes poet's childhood. The horse head pointed towards dash, eternity. Next question. In the poem, death is in the form of a dash, or what's the death or he personified to? A gentleman who drives a carriage. Next question. The only companion she had in the carriage was dash. Immortality. Immortality means live forever. How many times did the chariot stop? 2 times. Which word could be used to describe death in the poem? Civil, polite, gentleman. Why is immortality in the carriage? It acts as her guardian in the transition from life to death. Why is the phrase we passed repeated in the poem? To show all the human beings pass away eventually. The dews drew, querying and chill is an example for alliteration. Alliteration means it is a literary device that involves repeating the same sound at the beginning of nearby words. Next question. We passed the field of grazing grain. We passed the setting sun. What's the figure of speech? Anaphora. means figure of speech where various sentences or verses begin with the same word. Here we passed. Okay. And for appeals to the feeling of the listeners. He kindly stopped for me. What's a figure of speech? Personification is the figure of speech here. Personification means it's a figure of speech where human qualities, characteristics, or actions are attributed to non-human entities like animals, objects, or even abstract ideas. Next question. One of the perfect poems in English is Chariot, because I couldn't stop for death, and it exemplifies anything else. Whose words are these? Alan Tate. Okay, and here are some additional information about Emily Dickinson and her works. Please take a look at this. She was an American poet and known as Poet in White. That means she used to wear white colors in her 20s. And she was also known as Queen of Calvary, and the Ballet of Amherst is her posthumous nickname. The Ballet of Amherst is her posthumous nickname, and she wrote 1,800 poems, and these poems were discovered after Emily Dickinson's death, and her poems were numbered, not titled. We all know that her poems were not titled; it were only numbered. And immortality was a pervasive theme in Dickinson's poetry. Emily Dickinson had literary affinity towards Emerson. Emerson full name is Ralph Waldo Emerson. Okay. And Emily Dickinson had literary affinity towards Emerson. Samuel Bowles is the newspaper editor who published the first poem of Emily Dickinson. Please note it. Samuel Bowles is the newspaper editor who published the first poem of Emily Dickinson. And Bowles is the newspaper editor who published the first poem of that we already learned. And the Springfield Republican newspaper published a number of Dickinson's poems. The Springfield Republican, that newspaper also published a number of Dickinson's poems. Jane Eyre's book had a transformative effect on Dickinson when she read it during the winter of 1849-1850. And the poem Because I Couldn't Stop for Death was edited by Dickinson's friend Mabel Loomis Todd and Thomas Wentworth Higginson, and they gave the title The Chariot to the poem. And it's an important point. The poem Because I Couldn't Stop for Death was edited by Emily Dickinson's friends. Their names are Mabel Loomis Todd and Thomas Wentworth Higginson, and they edited Dickinson's poems, and also they gave the title The Chariot to the poem. Okay. At Emily Dickinson's funeral, Thomas Higginson read a poem by Emily Bronte. Specifically, he read her poem No Coward Soul Is Mine. Okay, please note that one also. Emily Dickinson's sister Lavinia found out her poems after her death. Dickinson considered female imagery person is the speaker of the poem Because I Couldn't Stop for Death. And next point is Complete Poems of Emily Dickinson. Please note down that Complete Poems of Emily Dickinson was the title of 1945 collection that brought Emily Dickinson the most posthumous fame. Okay, Complete Poems of Emily Dickinson was the title of 1945 collection that brought Dickinson the most posthumous fame. Okay. Please read this one because we can also expect from this portion also. Okay. എല്ലാവരും ഈ പോർഷനും നല്ലോണം വായിക്കുക. ബിക്കോസ് ഞാനിപ്പം റീഡ് ചെയ്യുന്ന അഡീഷണൽ ഇൻഫർമേഷനിൽ നിന്നും നമുക്ക് MCQ questions expect ചെയ്യാവുന്നതാണ്. Okay, please take a look on this. And next one, from 1858 to 1861, Emily is believed to have written a trio of letter called the master letter. Trio of letter known as the master letter. The title is the master letter. Trio's title is the master letter. She called it the master letter because it is addressed to an unknown man. Next point, if flame belongs to me, I couldn't escape her. Whose words are this? Emily Dickinson. The title, My Wars Are Laid Away in Books, is the name of a biography about the life of Emily Dickinson. Biography about life of Emily Dickinson is My Wars Are Laid Away in Books. Okay, and it was written by Alfred Hamburger. Next one, Longfellow is the poet Dickinson often caught in conversation. Longfellow is the poet Dickinson often caught in her conversations. Okay, thank you, and that's all about Because I Couldn't Stop for Death by Emily Dickinson. I hope you like this class, and if you like my classes, please subscribe this channel for more classes and MCQs. Okay, and Because I Couldn't Stop for Death in the line by line explanation നമ്മുടെ ചാനലിൽ കിടപ്പുണ്ട്. Look at that if you want the full line by line explanation of the poem. Okay, thank you.